Hey, welcome to part 2 of Conspiracy Theories. If you haven't listened to part 1 already, pause, jump over to that episode so you can get a lot of the inside jokes and explore the tangents along with us. Then when you're done, come on back and listen to part 2. Greetings and fist bumps. This is the Raised Eyebrow Podcast, where we discuss how people just peopling can make it weird to be a person sometimes. But somebody's got to do it. And we are your hosts, Kojo, Mike, and Alex. In our first part, we explored several conspiracy theories, where the heck they come from, and what roots they have in our society. In part 2, we're going to explore more conspiracy theories, from the Teletubbies to Sesame Street. Oh yes, we're coming straight for your childhood. So buckle up and let's get back to the show.
All right, so let's get into made-up conspiracy theory.
You got no, this one's not made up. This one's about the Teletubbies.
Okay, let's hear it.
Our 4 little fuzzy friends, Tinky, Winky, Dipsy, and Lala. Remember them?
Pinky, Winky, Dipsy, and Lala.
Sounds like a small penis.
So the conspiracy theory is that, like, children's cartoons just really make me really think. So they're held in captivity in some kind of like experiment going on, because there's their whole day schedule is completely controlled. They're told when to go. What do they call it? I don't know. I had it written down
the
somewhere.
dome-like building?
When to go to sleep, when to wake up, when to go on a custard ride. I don't know what that means. Apparently that's something they do. When to say bye-bye. To the fans who watch them. They're aware that they're being watched. And I mean, they watch things on themselves, which kind of creates this weird, what are they kind of are they like Android kind of things?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have TVs in their stomachs, right? Because they're Teletubbies, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a whole sub-level to this, because they have this vacuum cleaner who's sentient, who comes around and cleans up all their messes. Right? So does he, but then there's this voice, and the vacuum cleaner I think works for the voice or something like that. But then there's also these trumpets that would tell them when to do things. So their schedule's very regulated. So it's this whole it's like the Truman Show meets some messed up kids cartoon, and it's just all mashed together in this thing called Teletubby Land. And the thing that amazes me is just kids just accept that, oh yeah, this is a TV show, this is something that I watch, but they don't question where is this voice coming from, who do they work for, who built this dome,
sucked in, it's the whole what do you call it, hypnotized,
right? So what's the greater plot here? I have so many questions.
I thought of Truman Show immediately, so I like that you called that out.
Oh yeah,
it's the kids' Truman Show, but
yeah, it's Plato's Parable of the Cave, but Plato's Parable of the Cave if you did meth. Just yeah.
That's a bad psychedelic trip. The Teletubbies. What's going on?
I don't know if I've never done meth, so I'm just assuming that you get that high, or LSD. Let's LSD. I know LSD.
One of the acceptable.
I've never done it, but acceptable drugs. Yeah. After reading Ken Kesey, I can attest that LSD makes you do weird things.
Allegedly, Steve Jobs thought of Apple while on LSD.
Probably.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
That's the myth.
Yeah. Hunter S. Thompson was big into drugs too.
Oh yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
I think back to Steve Jobs. He said when he was on LSD, he was on vacation, and he heard the mountains play Beethoven Symphony, and he he went deep, man.
Wow.
This is from him, so it's
it's really Symphony number 5.
Yeah, which one was it? Which one inspired Apple?
That's my question.
Which one inspired
Moonlight Sonata? What was the? Yeah.
Okay, so
Ode
Teletubbies.
Joy. Probably
Teletubbies.
What else you guys?
Yeah,
got?
that's the Teletubbies one. Okay, here's another one. Peter Pan. So, what if Captain Cook is actually the good guy? Think about it. Peter Pan keeps taking kids to Neverland. And in other words, he's abducting kids into like this fictional world where they will never age. So he's keeping them as permanent kids. And Captain Cook is trying to free the kids. Like, you never see the story from Captain Cook's side. And he's trying to stop Peter Pan. He never tries to fight the kids. The kids are manipulated and they fight back against the pirates, but he never tries to capture or kill the kids. He tries to capture and get rid of Peter Pan. And Tinkerbell is like, she's like clearly involved with this somehow. You know, like between the two of them, they're creating this whole Neverland to like effectively abduct kids and turn them into some kind of like military force to do something. I don't know. He was never successful in completing his plot, thanks to Captain Cook. Yeah, so maybe Captain Cook is the good guy.
So I think it's Captain Hook, no?
Oh yeah, sorry, Hook.
Yeah,
I think Captain Cook.
Captain Hook,
the cereal guy.
Captain Cook's the real guy who sailed around the world.
Hook, tomato.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
So he's just like a rebellious entrepreneur at the end of the day.
Who, Captain Hook?
Yeah. Captain Hook. He's just, he's a pirate in this world. He's just trying to get some money.
I think
Peter Pan's causing problems.
In the conspiracy world, Captain Hook is Trump saving the kids from, getting, like that. Because the kids, they usually get the adrenochrome.
Huh?
You know that what the word is?
No.
So so usually with the reptiles killing kids and sucking their blood is because the blood of kids have this thing called
Wow, you just tied Peter Pan with QAnon stuff. Wow, that's
creativity right there.
Exactly.
That's real creativity.
It keeps him younger. Peter Pan never grows, right?
So Peter Pan is a part of the whole QAnon thing,
right?
Oh my god! And that's how January 6th happened.
Oh man! I mean, like, they would believe that though.
Oh, easily. If Obama's from Kenya, man. Obama's from Kenya.
I mean, Alex, if you present it, we would believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, we're trustworthy people. Therefore, it's real.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was an interesting thing. But it's interesting how Peter Pan, which is like basically 100 years old right now, they predicted this. So this whole thing has been happening for like a century.
So how is
this goes like really deep?
So what's Peter Pan doing right now? Like, does he have a job? Is he like retired?
Well,
how did he make a living?
For the lizard people? Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe he was Peter Pan growing up. No, I'm getting too deep.
Whoa.
Well, isn't Peter Pan a pirate or something like that?
Peter Pan is what is he? I guess he's
just like a kid who wears leotards.
Just a weird kid. Maybe he's got a cult, realistically. Like,
it's basically a cult, yeah.
He's abducting
and they
kids.
eat imaginary food. Like, he doesn't even feed them.
Yeah, you're gonna be young forever.
They basically
they're like, okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh wow, you just eat imaginary food. Like, can you imagine how manipulated they must be to like believe that what they're eating is actually food, but really it's just air? Yeah.
So
like,
is he starving the kids?
Well, I mean, if it's the whole QAnon lizard people thing, then I guess he doesn't have to, because eventually the whole adreno thing will just... Yeah, exactly, right? Okay, so there we go.
All right, next.
Next we have Sesame Street.
Sesame Street.
Oh, yeah. So...
This is my favorite.
In the intro song, at least the one that I grew up with, I don't know what the kids sing today, but the intro song has the line, "Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?"
La,
now,
la, 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 la.
Yeah. And so it kind of implies that like Sesame Street is like this hidden place where wayward kids end up. And then if you just kind of play the notes in a certain part of what I imagine to be Brooklyn or Manhattan or some part, Manhattan in the 80s, I guess. Like this magical door opens up and then like I guess Grover's there to greet you or something like that. And then it's like, but then it kind of gets like even weirder, because if you pay attention to the show, it's like they have some kind of cult, but then there's like the alphabet, but like every letter is like has its own marketing budget because they all sponsor different shows. And they're like trying to prepare kids for, I guess, when they eventually get to Sesame Street. But I don't know what, like, why are these letters sponsoring the TV show? I've yet to figure that part out. Because today's episode is sponsored by the letter M. But why would M need to sponsor a TV show about, like, you know, I don't know, riding a bicycle? Like, I don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense.
There you have it.
Sesame Street is corrupting our young generation.
There's just no response to that one.
I'm speechless. I got nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the reality. There's a reality story of, you know, the name Sesame Street. You know, because when they were planning it, they wanted something that is different. And a lot of the people that were on the team were all professionals who used to sell. They're professional advertisers, and they're like, "Oh, let's put on a show where we're more educating the kids than selling them something."
Right.
And then they also want to do. I think Sesame Street is one of the first shows that was very inclusive.
Yep.
Kids from all walks of life, which in a way New York is kids from all parts of the world. It is. They're like, hey, why not do a street in New York and then also showcase kids from all over the world, and then instead of advertising products, we advertise letters to educate them.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
So there's this is a true story. It has to do with Sesame Street. So when I was a kid, I think it was like 10 or something like that. And there was this one kid who was in my neighborhood, a little younger. And you remember those Sesame Snaps candy? They're like sesame seeds that are kind of like, there's like a honey that kind of holds them together. It's like a really healthy snack you can give kids. Slightly sweet. This kid was like, you know, he was saying like, oh, these are Sesame Street candies, and like I guess he thought that like Big Bird ate them and that's why he should eat them, and I guess his parents were like, okay, yeah, we'll just go along with the lie and we'll call them Sesame Street snacks because this kid's eating them. Man. And so you know, the good Samaritan that I am, I ended up breaking the news to the kid, and I'm like, your parents are lying to you. These are not Sesame Street snacks. They're just called Sesame Snaps. And he was just like so crushed. Like, that was like 30 years ago. The kid's probably, well, wait, no, less than that. 25 years ago. The kid's probably has like trust issues. He doesn't quite understand where they originated from.
It's a fun therapy session for that kid.
Can you imagine that went back in?
You've ruined this kid's life.
I have a funny Sesame Street story. So when I was a kid, Sesame Street, I was watching an episode, and that's when I discovered that the tune for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is the same as A, B, C, D, right? Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, A, B, C, D, and it blew my mind. I had to convince everybody I saw when I was like 6. Did you know this? My family hated me. I was that kid.
Do you think that's like plagiarism though? Like the ABC, like our alphabet plagiarized Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
I wonder if it was the same children's songwriter who did both.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
But I think that's common with the children's songs. So
I think we should cancel the alphabet.
And the stars.
Plagiarized. We should cancel it.
Twinkle Little Star.
Exactly. Just cancel both of them.
Cancel everything.
Cancel culture.
That's enough.
It's plagiarism. It's wrong. Yeah. Both canceled. No more alphabet. Remember it now without the song.
Actually, it's a really good strategy to remember stuff when you put it in a song.
I still do the ABC. Like I'm a grown man, and I'll stumble on.
Do you always have to start from the beginning?
No, I go to like LMNOP is when I get like bamboozled,
confused
because I'm stupid. So then I start humming it in my head like an idiot, and then it comes to me. So there you go. That's my IQ.
You know, as a kid, I thought letters are pictures, and so when you put BOY, you should see a boy, and I could never see the boy, and so I used to argue with my cousin. No, it's not a boy. it's something else. It's like, no, boy is boy. I'm like, but I can't see boy.
That's how we know you're a designer. That's a designer's mind right there.
How can you not see the boy? It's clear as day though, because the B, like the capital B, those are the two eyes. The O is his body.
You gotta flip it.
And he has one leg. That's his waist, and that's the leg. He's one-legged boy.
But you still have to
How do you
flip
not
the B.
You use your imagination.
You're a designer.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, it can't be literal. You know, there's only 26 of these things. They have to mix up so many different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like girl, you have obviously that's a girl if you look at it. I guess I don't know.
Gotta be
I don't
really
know.
imaginative.
I'm actually surprised. I totally winged that whole boy thing. Like, I'm actually surprised I was actually able to make up some kind of half-assed BS response to that.
Oh man. Okay, what other conspiracy made-up ones that you guys put together?
Okay, so storks. Apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently, storks don't deliver babies.
What?
What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Wait. I don't get this. No, you're lying to me.
No, man, you can't.
Yeah, they don't deliver babies. Apparently, from what I'm told, the mommies make them in their bellies. I didn't know that.
What?
I don't.
Didn't know
That's
it.
not what my mom told
Do
me.
you have any sources for that?
Yeah.
Or is there like reference material?
I do.
Reference?
They are XXX rated. I'm not allowed to say them on a show like this. Certain websites you can find online that will show you how this happens.
Wait, so you look at women delivering babies?
No, I don't do that. No. I am told that from a very trustworthy person that there are websites that in one way, shape, or form show you how to order a baby from a catalog. I don't know what they do on these websites. I've never seen them.
Yeah. What would maybe I'll talk to you after, and we can look into this information.
I'll send you some links.
Send me some links for research purposes. But
Yeah.
I think it works.
Yeah. Do you want to like relive your college fantasies or pretend you're a football player temporarily? Like, what's the?
I just like to play frisbee with storks. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Bad joke.
Yeah.
Porn.
Yeah.
Hashtag porn.
Yeah, that's where it's a metaphor for porn.
Okay, in case you didn't get that, folks. All right.
So next conspiracy.
Yeah, Kojo, you said you had some. Shoot.
Yeah,
Shoot
I have
yours.
some here. All right. So you remember the book Elders of Zion?
Yes. We talked
Yeah,
about
the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Okay, so
That's a reference.
where this is coming from is the idea that, like, I mean, as creatives, you write stuff, you make stuff up as entertainment, but then someone picks it and then it's like, yo, this is the truth, and then they fly with it to the point where you even have, like, Ford, the guy who made Model T's and stuff, was handing out propaganda stuff to people about Jewish
Was he
people,
really?
Trying to take over the world.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, so just in case you don't understand what this book is about, it's the Jewish people coming together and then trying to take over the world.
classic.
But didn't we? Didn't we cover that? Like, aren't you like time traveling aliens? Like,
That's what I.
Well, I mean, yeah, part of it is that, because usually, even with the QAnon and all these people think that, people like Hillary Clinton, Bush, Obama are all reptiles.
Oh, man.
wait, so is Peter
Reptilians.
Pan cooperating with the Jewish people?
Probably.
And
Okay,
the aliens.
all right.
Slash aliens.
Well, I thought the Jewish people were the aliens,
Exactly. Now you're getting it.
or they're different aliens.
I don't know. But also, shh.
So, I took this concept and then basically just replaced it with my version. And so, before hip hop came about, I'm not sure if you guys know. So, there was this guy whose name is Jazz, and Jazz had a girlfriend called Mary Jane. And the two of them were taking the world by storm, right? So, usually you go to the jazz clubs, and there's always Mary Jane and Jazz, like, taking out the world. So then the U.S. government was like, we have to. This music is taking over the world, so we have to put a stop to it. And there was also marijuana, who's also corrupting our kids, getting them to do crazy things. So then there's the war on drugs.
Just extends.
Fast forward, which is all propaganda. Like, these people are trying to take over the world.
Right.
Anyway, fast forward, the rise of hip hop, which, black folks are trying to, destroy the world and take over, the globe. Right? So,
With hip hop?
With hip hop, yeah. So you have leaders, leaders with the NWA.
Well, they have taken over the Grammys, that's for sure.
That's what I'm heading to.
Oh, sorry, did I just totally spoil the ending?
So you got Tupac as a writer. You have Mobb Deep, Shook Ones. You have the Grave Diggers, 1-800-Suicide. And then you have Eminem, who is black, by the way, with Kim. So you get the point. Like, these guys are taking over the world.
Yep.
And it's a propaganda.
How do we stop them?
These guys are in. Fast forward, the Illuminati, right?
Yeah, that took a left turn. Yeah, okay.
So I think, I want to be part of the Illuminati, because if you look, Jay-Z and Kanye West are doing fine.
Well, Kanye's had some bumps.
Well, I don't think Kanye, not right now.
But my question is, the Illuminati is a secret, institution. How come we know about it? We shouldn't know about it. Because I want to be in. Like, I want to make $1 million too.
We all do. I think they just got sloppy with it. They wanted to brag about the millions.
Yeah, probably. So, that's probably what it is. Or this alleged, handshake. There's always pictures of, I remember seeing one where, Obama's, shaking somebody's hand. Oh, that's an Illuminati handshake. If you shake a lot of people's hands a lot of times, sometimes, you don't line up the hands properly, especially if you're just kind of, shaking a bunch of people's hands in a line.
Mm-hmm.
Your hand placement's going to be slightly, above or below the thumb or something. I don't know. It happens. But they just, get this one photo and it's oh, no, that's apparently Illuminati handshake. Well, but why would you do it so openly? I don't know. I was, this is actually a true story. I used to be a waiter when I was in college. And I was serving this one guy at a restaurant, and he was openly telling me how he's a Freemason. It's true. I'm sitting there thinking, why are you telling me you're a Freemason? Are you supposed to keep it a secret? He's going oh, I'm a Freemason.
Right.
It's
okay, cool. Would you like to order your entree?
Yes.
I don't know what to say.
Did he need water to take his medication with, or no?
I don't know.
No. Okay. All right.
No, he was it was in his 40s, I guess. But he's telling me he's a Freemason. I'm thinking if you are a Freemason, A, why are you at this restaurant? It was not a high class restaurant. Definitely middle class. Why are you here? And why are you telling me?
Right.
I've never saw him since. It was the first time and only time he was ever in the restaurant that I knew of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he just goes around.
He disappeared.
He just goes around the world telling people he's a Freemason.
Good for him. That's living life right there.
I'd like to meet him because I need some connections to join the Illuminati.
Yeah, we got to find this guy. We'll hang out at that restaurant. We have another sponsor, and I think our listeners will be really hyped about this one. Guys, we're officially sponsored by Sleep.
Oh, you mean the mattress company?
No. I'm talking about the concept of sleep. We're going to promote the act of quality sleeping.
Right. So you're saying that Sleep is paying us to promote it. But who's representing this concept of sleep? Do our people call their people and we negotiate the terms of promoting sleep?
Wait. What do you mean by their people?
No, guys, we're just promoting the act of getting a good night's sleep. That means 6.5 to 8 hours of quality REM sleep, which helps the human body and mind recalibrate and rejuvenate itself for another cycle of wakeful consciousness where we can complete our daily tasks and appreciate the fruits of this existence.
Okay. So do we get paid for this, or are we just spewing words? Is this conceptual money?
Yeah, kinda. It's more of an act of service for our fellow humans rather than actual tangible currency being exchanged.
Oh, so it's a hustle, like crypto.
I get it now. Get your sleep, folks. The raised eyebrow takes no blame for oversleeping, undersleeping, or otherwise irresponsible sleep habits.
Join us today, and we'll introduce the idea of sleeping like a baby.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
To go back to your the marijuana part of your story, I think that's real. That's real history. So I don't know the guy's name, but I think it was like Stuart something. I might be making this stuff up, but I'll look it up after. But so in the 20s and 30s, hemp was becoming serious competition for the paper industry. So this guy, whatever his name was, that I will look up later, he put out a paper saying that hemp is causing black people and Mexican people and immigrants to come after white women and rape them. Mm-hmm. So hemp was a substitute for that paper, like super sturdy material, good resource, blah, blah, blah. And he said that marijuana is causing that. Marijuana is a different, it's like a Mexican bushweed or something like that. It's not cannabis. So that's the propaganda and the history behind that.
Yeah.
Let me look up the guy's name.
That's why I'm marrying Mary Jane with the jazz guy.
Gotcha. And the jazz music is corrupting our.
It's corrupting the kids.
Yes.
I'm okay with that though. Like I'm okay with jazz corrupting my mind. I love jazz. It's awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a propaganda. We're trying to take over the world. So.
Okay, but how does Miles Davis corrupt my mind?
Well, he's giving you good music style.
Yeah,
there's a picture that I used to have on my Facebook cover page, and that picture was such an amazing photo in the sense of how the people were reacting hearing jazz for the first time.
Oh wow.
You had people screaming, and the jazz guy was on the floor, and it's going all wild. To me, it's kind of like now listening to a rock band or like some crazy transforming music at a concert where people are screaming their lungs out.
Yeah, that's dope. I love that stuff. There's even the first there's a famous picture of the first movie. I'm taking a left turn here, but in a movie screen, and people just it was a train or something, and people are freaking out thinking the train is coming out of the screen. This is famous. But those aspects of history where people you see how stupid people are and were based on an art form or visual art form or audio art form. It's something that's new, but they can't explain it. It's always fascinating to me. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's the human brain evolved, so now we've seen things like Matrix, so
nothing impresses us anymore.
Nothing impresses us.
We have the metaverse.
When you go back to the first Star Wars and when it came out, that was mind blowing.
Yes.
But now you watch it, and because you've seen Matrix, you're oh, this is too cheap.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing as as the art form changes, the people also transform as well. Mm-hmm. The comparisons that I'm even trying to create, which is the hip hops, back in the days, jazz was corrupting the girls. Now hip hop is corrupting the youth.
Yeah, rock and roll.
But then we never say anything about the movies. Movies do. We talk about how people watch movies and then they act in the guy who went to shoot a movie theater, for instance.
Yep.
But then no one is blaming the movies and saying oh, Terminator is corrupting our kids. But then you have a hip hop artist, Nicki Minaj, and it's yo, you're corrupting our kids.
Yeah. Well, on one hand, that one song WAP, I don't know why that was nominated for a Grammy. In terms of should kids listen to that specific song? I don't know, maybe a bit too soon. Go through puberty, then listen to it.
It's art.
I think that's why even in movies we have the numbers, the names, the age stuff. Yep. And so
that was getting radio play though.
Yeah, it was.
I hate to sound like a Karen
old
here,
man,
but
old man yells like Cloud.
Yeah.
But it's or I guess what's the male equivalent? Chad. I guess I'm a Chad in this case, but it's I don't know if that really should be played
Mm-hmm.
publicly for kids to consume.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
especially when they piece it together.
It
But
gets
hip hop in
a
general
bit,
is awesome.
yeah, it gets a bit tricky in the sense
Yeah.
of like, where do we draw the line, and
Yeah.
when should something be allowed on the media? I think, as as a parent, you wouldn't take your kids to a strip club. You wouldn't take them to a bar. So these spaces, you should protect your kids from it. But then the
Right.
artists should be allowed to also create in those spaces.
Yeah, like it's an interesting like freedom of speech conversation for sure.
I agree. Like, I think it comes down to proper parenting. Like, back in the days when Eminem was popular, like people were freaking out, not letting kids, listen to him. But
Mm-hmm.
it comes down to parenting. Like, your kid's not gonna chop up his mom and stuff her in the closet because he's listening to Eminem.
Right.
Hopefully, but
Yeah.
like it's a matter of like making sure the kid has that distinction between, okay, this is like a form of art, and hopefully they're old enough and you let them listen to it when they're old enough. But obviously don't, you're not going to let your kid watch a violent horror movie when they're 3, just like you're not going to let them listen to Eminem when they're
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
8. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like be a parent, just be a person.
Yeah.
But the art form itself is the art form itself. So the WAP
Yeah.
or WAP or whatever. I don't know if it's a Grammy masterpiece. It's not Beethoven for sure, but it's still a form of hip hop. And she could express herself in the way she wants to express herself.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes like I don't know who did WAP, but I think it's
What's her name?
Nicki Minaj.
Cardi B.
and
is it Nicki? Is it Cardi or
Cardi
Nicki?
B, that's what it was.
Yes.
It was Cardi B.
And sometimes like we need to also understand where these people are coming from, and usually their environment, especially, I think Cardi used to be a stripper or
Yes.
something like that.
She was a stripper.
And those environments are pretty much like a radio station, like places where people listen to music for the first time before Spotify or iTunes, where like the club, the strip club, the bar, or your friend's backseat, or that cool guy who would make mixtapes and sell it on the street. Those were places that you were hearing songs for the first time. So rappers usually go to strip clubs not because they enjoy, I mean, not all of them, but a majority of them go for inspiration, to listen to what is popping and what the women are picking, what songs women are picking for their dances on the pole.
Yeah, it's like insights into the community
Right.
at large, right?
Yeah, what song is popping? What should I be? What should I be on? So it's an environment where all these ideas are coming in, and so then they make those songs for those places. Like twerking songs are different from conscious rapper songs, from like all these different genres of songs. So I think when those people end up on the mainstream, they end up making songs that they think their circle would like the Barbies and the twerkers. These are all women who specialize in those fields, as that's their job in a way, as entertainers. So yeah, it gets tricky. It's like, I made a song and then now the song is on the radio. It's not meant for the radio. It's meant for the strip club.
Yeah.
I mean, WAP would be a good strip club song for sure.
It is. It's specifically made for that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Back to
I know someone is gonna get me because I've had conversations about this and it's gotten heated with friends, and I'm like, I get your point.
About hip hop songs
then,
being made for the strip club?
No, just
About
in general, as in,
I think more
in
about
general, as in like how the songs, like you have the black on black crime. I mean, black on black killing. And usually, sometimes they're fueled by the songs that they're listening. But the art is a medium to express yourself. There are a lot of black people who don't have what do you call it, like a therapy.
Yeah, an outlet.
Oh.
Outlet. So these spaces become a way where they actually talk about the stuff that is in their community. Like if you listen to Nas, for instance, Nas
Legend.
would tell you he's like the CNN of the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what made him
And
so
the way
legendary.
he paints the pictures vividly, you're like, oh my God, this is insane. How can you even think that?
How can you
Like
live with
Mob,
that?
yeah, Mob Deep, I forgot their names, but the other one had sickle cell, and he wasn't allowed to be by himself at all times. So people had to be around him all the time, and he's usually in pain all the time. So sometimes like he's in so much pain that he needs an outlet to, I just want to like just. So then the songs and how they're feeling at that time become the music that they produce.
For
And
sure.
sometimes not all of them have the right mind frame. And they're kids too. Sometimes like they're in their 18s and they're making these songs.
For sure.
So they're not advising you about how to live life, but they're expressing themselves. Just like a painter would express himself with paint. There's this Robert Mapplethorpe. I can never pronounce his name. He's a gay photographer, and pretty much he's like this Cardi B version of photography.
Maplethorpe.
Maplethorpe.
Robert
And
Mapplethorpe.
the problem was, these are naked people you're putting on big pictures and stuff. But then the problem, but in the same places I'm showing my paintings, you have a painting which is in a gallery for, it's a permanent collection, and it's someone chopping someone's head off. Like, you go to Rome and we have statues of naked men on the middle of the street. What's the difference? But then the difference is that one is a vivid picture, the other is a representation of someone in a different medium.
Yeah,
And it's like, the human mind can't really distinguish between the two. One is a painting, the other one is an actual picture. So then the actual picture is a bad one, the representation is okay.
Yeah, well said, man. Well said. And like Cardi B gets a lot of respect within the hip hop community, from what I understand, is because she's expressing her life. Like she used to be a stripper, so okay, here's what she saw. Here is the CNN of the strip club, So, and I think there's a disconnect with let's say a white collar community. They're not going to understand that, but at the same time, and this is what made hip hop so interesting in the '90s with like gang rap. Right, like you're seeing a lot of the times the violence and the horrors of that community, and like they got corrupted by like annoying white kids in the suburbs trying to dress like that, and it became like a whole culture. But also there was a purity to the music itself, and that's where the hip hop revolutionized the way we listen to music and the industry, right? So
yeah, I mean now things are changing, where like you're seeing other forms of that same medium, because the medium changes based on where the story is being told. So if it's in Jamaica, it's in reggae.
Yeah.
The same people, like Busta Rhymes is Jamaican, but the form changes to hip hop when he's here. The same form now is being heard, and now we call it the Afrobeat in Africa. But it's the same thing. It's the same, but like the Jamaican version is very lively because it's warm and cool and the people are happy and stuff. So
yeah, they're still telling the story of the horrors that are happening in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Came across something. This is back to my conspiracy story, which didn't turn out right. Apparently, the people smoking cannabis at that time during slavery was so that they wouldn't go through pain, because you're working every day,
right?
And when you come home, you smoke pot to kind of like
relax.
Ease
the pain. By the way, the guy who came up with this propaganda, his name is William Hearst. He owned a newspaper publication, and he spread this information throughout the states in 1933. Interesting. There's a good documentary about it called, I think I watched this with Alex back in the day when we first started being friends. What was it called? Oh God, The Union.
The Union, is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I think so. It's on your local streaming platform. It's famous, and they made a second one also. Snoop Dogg's in it. The Union. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, The Union, the business behind getting high. That's a dope documentary. Highly recommend that one. And then also back to music. There's another documentary called The Defiant Ones. It's a 4-parter. It shows the friendship between Dr. Dre and this producer named Jimmy Iovine, famous guy from the 80s, 70s. How he murdered Dr. Dre to revolutionize the hip hop, to revolutionize the influence that hip hop has on the music industry back in the 90s. It started with NWA and so on and so forth. He recruited Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and whatever labels they started. I forget the names. 50 Cent, like the whole shebang. Highly recommend that one too.
The Shady Records was Eminem's.
Shady Records, that's it.
Yeah.
And even like within the rock world, he was with what's the heavy metal guy, or like the
Metallica?
No.
Guns N' Roses.
No.
Van Halen.
He was on meth. He was actually on meth.
Heavy metal guy on meth. Well, that really narrowed it down.
I'll look at it. I'll look into it. Oh, Marilyn Manson, Black Eyed Peas, 9 Inch Nails. So 9 Inch Nails.
Oh,
he's not heavy metal. I forget what it's like, electronic, like dark trance. I don't even know the genre.
Was he on meth?
He had a serious drug problem. Let's see.
Really?
9 Inch Nails, drug use. Gonna do the old goggle. Cocaine. But there was something else that he was on. Trent
Reznor, that's his name, yeah.
That's his name. He was actually a good businessman. He just, the industry got him. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, that's true.
Jimmy Iovine is a legend from that perspective.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously Dr. Dre's,
Yeah.
his name speaks for itself. He just had a coma.
So they're...
Oh, he did?
Oh, wow.
He had like a brain hemorrhage or something. But I think he's okay. He performed in the Super Bowl, so all's good. Thumbs up.
Wait, Trent Reznor or the producer?
Dr. Dre.
Oh.
Dr. Dre had a coma.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
This is months back.
Wow,
Dr. Dre coma. Let's see. I'm doing the live goggle. Dr. Dre hospitalized with brain aneurysm. It was only a few hours. He was okay. He got out.
Oh, okay.
But still scary. He was 55, so
yeah.
Brain aneurysms aren't fun at any age, but 55 makes it worse. Right? But he's fine. Like, he performed in the Super Bowl. And, rave reviews. But what
that's
were we
true.
talking
That
about
was a good show, actually.
Yeah.
I like how they. It was all about Dre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you.
Because he had Snoop.
Eminem showed
was
up.
there.
50 Cent was hanging upside down.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like, even
club.
during the show, there were memes coming out with that. Like, I really admire meme culture. They're really on the ball, you know?
That should be our next podcast. Meme culture.
Yeah.
What is it about
like,
it?
What makes a meme?
I think it's like an insight into society in a funny way.
Cultural moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it shows, I think memes show how creative people are and how they need, like Kojo was talking about, people need an outlet. Right?
Yep.
So like even people who don't necessarily have a difficult life, maybe they work 9 to 5 and all's good, but you still have to express yourself in some way, right?
I also find it's also a form of communication.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And humor's classic, right? So creativity, humor, visual appeal, right? Memes, they caught on for a reason, right?
Yeah. So it's similar to like how you were saying that like hip hop is, this is commentary from the streets. Like, do you think meme culture would effectively be commentary from the internet?
I think so.
100%.
I think so.
100%.
Yeah.
Pretty much summarizes it.
Yeah.
That's your elevator pitch right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like that idea of the medium is a message.
Yes.
Yep.
Marshall McLuhan.
It changes, but it's the same idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the internet culture, quote unquote. Like you had all these like forums and like I think one day someone was like, I'm going to do a meme. I'm going to do something funny. And caught on.
Yeah, who started it?
I don't know. Nobody knows. The internet.
It was Dave from sales.
From sales. and do these people get paid to do these?
No, they just make them.
It's always like a community.
I mean, this is another show, so we could probably talk about it. But it's like,
Yeah.
what makes you want to do it?
It's always an online
joke.
community. So like there's memes for
Yeah.
like let's take sports. There's like I follow, like a nerd that I am, I follow different like online forums for let's say Raptors fans, and there's always memes about like the players or the NBA or basketball in general. And it's always like, you know, Joe Schmo puts it up there, he wants to express himself, and everyone in that group goes ha ha ha, that's funny. And that's it.
Right.
And then maybe it catches on in mainstream media and it gets to, you know, ESPN as a funny meme because they're making fun of, you know, LeBron James. But usually it's, you know, just a bunch of people talking about the things that they love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always find it very interesting how different forms take different shapes in different environments.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The internet
Well, it's the
is
culture that shapes the medium. Right.
True.
How
I
the
think it
medium is
captures-
used anyways.
I think like a meme, like the good ones, the ones that catch on, they like. First of all, they're funny, and they capture a truth about society. Like, it's like any joke any good joke, you go, that I wish I would have thought of that, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's the aha moment, you know. So.
Yeah, I think we exhausted the first well of conspiracy theories. Yeah, but we'll go through them more in depth, especially Peter Pan. Yeah, we're gonna do a 6-part series on Peter Pan.
Your 2 points were really on point. I think mine was really butchered. I didn't narrate it really well. I butchered it.
I think it came.
It's an interesting conversation about music, though.
Yeah.
But we should do an investigative journalism 6-part series, exclusive
Peter Pan.
breaking news from the Raised Eyebrow podcast about Peter
On
Pan.
music?
Yeah, we'll expose Neverland. Is that what it's called? Neverland? I don't know.
Oh, Michael Jackson's Please?
No, not Michael. Oh, fuck, yeah, that's an interesting tie-in. Yeah, I didn't make that
I
connection.
mean,
yeah.
He was inspired by the movie.
Yeah, he wanted to be a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did other stuff with
Rest
kids.
in peace, Michael.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly, everything's allegedly. Except Peter Pan. That's truth.
Yeah. We should do a show on like the two dynamics of people. Like, you know, you have Bill Cosby, the funny guy, but Bill Cosby, the rapist.
That's a good
Like,
one.
it's like the two, because I think, like, for instance, you ask me what do I think about Michael Jackson? I'll tell you he's my all-time favorite musician on the planet. Period.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, did he do it? Did he not do it? I don't care about that. I mean, and as much as it's very bad and negative, I'm like, I like him though.
100%. Dave Chappelle jokes about that with Bill Cosby. Like, he jokes, but he rapes. But
We probably shouldn't laugh about that.
but that's the thing. Like, you can laugh at the joke.
Yeah.
Of course, it's controversial, and reality sucks that he did that. But like Kojo was saying, like, Michael Jackson is a musical legend. The fact that he was a bad person, allegedly, doesn't take away from the fact that his music was awesome, right?
Yeah, like, how do you draw the line, right?
How do you draw? That's the moral question, right?
These people build on top of each other. So you have, before Michael Jackson, there's, you know, James Brown. Before James Brown, there's somebody. Like, it's like everything is built on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the moment you take a chunk of R. Kelly, that's like wiping out everybody else.
Yeah.
Like Usher, like all the other R&Bs that came wanted to be like R. Kelly.
Yeah. After
Like, there's
his generation.
Yeah, there was a section where it was like the baby making music, and all of them were making that sexual music content.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's still a market for that, right? And like when he was big, before obviously all this stuff came out about him, I mean, yeah, he was an influential figure in that particular genre, right? So the same thing with Michael Jackson, and
right.
from a comedy perspective, same thing with like Louis C.K. They were very influential, and there were a lot of people who modeled their music or comedy after these particular figures, and obviously all this stuff came out, and you kind of found out another side of these respective people, which is what they did was wrong. It's kind of like, well, if a person's inspired by Louis C.K. and his humor, and does that make them a bad person? Well, not really. Like, you know.
Well said. Well said.
And I think that's where, like, it's like the human is, you're changing your mind all the time. Like, I wasn't yesterday. I'm a different person. Today I'm a different person. So yeah, like I'm changing.
When I was in my 20s, I was basically a moron. Can't use the other word I wanted to say. But yeah, that would be a good podcast, like the two sides. So you have the artist and the human. It'd be a fun one.
How do you separate them? Yeah, because like, you know, if you look at like historically, right, like you had Oscar Wilde, who he was homosexual. He went to court and he was found guilty for being gay, and they executed him, basically.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was illegal to be gay.
Where was this?
At that time in England.
England
in, I don't know, 18th, 19th century.
Makes sense.
Holy.
19th century England, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised, the people in the room who were like, yeah, let's kill him, probably are also gay.
All of them are gay.
Like
100%.
Probably. Well, they wore leotards. Like, they wore, like, men wore heels at that time, and they carried purses. Come on.
Definitely gay.
And they used to do all those crazy wild parties, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Romans, like they would have orgies, and there'd be like anything goes.
Didn't the Spartans,
ancient Rome,
the Spartan soldiers sleep with each other to build bonds? Was it the Spartans?
Yep.
Some ancient army.
Yep.
Like, it's well known throughout history. Yeah. Right? Gay people exist.
Yeah, even animals, like a lot of mammals, giraffes, you know.
But did you
dolphins?
know?
A lot of intelligent animals too.
I think dolphins are.
It's common, yeah.
Like, it's pretty common for them to be gay, right? Interesting. Yeah. Parrots.
Yeah. Yeah, parrots. Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. But Obama's from Kenya, so. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the hill we all die on. Is that one?
That's the one.
You can buy a coffee mug with Obama's birth certificate on it.
It's fake, man. It's Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's Photoshop.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fun stuff.
So we should do final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
So my final thoughts is that conspiracy theories are, like, we kind of gravitate to them out of, I think, like, this curiosity for kind of finding out the truth of things, because sometimes the truth is withheld from you, and you want to know more. You want to know exactly why something happened, or something happened that was horrific, like 9/11, for example. And sometimes you don't want to accept the easy answer, which is maybe it was terrorists who did it and they did hijack the planes. But you kind of tend to gravitate more towards like a highly complex answer that just defies the laws of logic. And that's the one that you accept as your truth, because it's what happened was so incomprehensible. The fact that you had 3 planes fly into basically 3 respective buildings all on the same day, all on the same morning, and totally changed the world. It's hard to comprehend that sometimes. And so we need something that's as big as what the event was in order to be able to comprehend what happened. And we kind of gravitate towards conspiracies as a result. Mm-hmm. Some do, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, my final thought would be, I mean, we're pretty much like in the information age, and there's so much information, content left and right. But as we find these information, we should not always take it to a point where we end up harming other people, because, we all have different opinions, but that doesn't mean you should harm someone else because you don't agree with, what they have to say, and be willing to, change your mind if, your truths, like things that you believe is different, like, there's no harm to change your mind.
Exactly. There's never a good reason to harm anybody.
Yeah.
Final thoughts for me. So there's this mock nonprofit company called Birds Aren't Real. So it's mocking conspiracy theories. So they've put like this whole like propaganda system out into the world about birds just being drones for the government to spy on everything. And so I think so the CEO or the guy who started this, the guy named McIndoe, I don't know his first name, but he says it's about holding up a mirror to America in the internet age. So it's a very like, when I read that, it was a very like Black Mirror type moment. Shout out to the show on Netflix, great show. Where I think like we have this need to be in on something, like we know something that the other doesn't, and oftentimes it's difficult to look in the mirror and say, I don't know as much. So it's about some humility from time to time, especially from people who unfortunately don't have a lot going on in their lives, and they need to feel like they have accomplished something. And this conspiracy theory, for the most part, is the ultimate like aha accomplishment. That's it.
Well, folks, the truth is out. Wait, my thing changed.
You just
my copy changed. My copy changed. I'm like, wait, what am I reading here?
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, so someone changed your notes on you.
The aliens did it.
Someone hacked into your computer while you were recording the show.
Into it.
And they changed your notes and like, well, this will really get them back. It's obviously Peter Pan, who's now a hacker. He's a 40-year-old hacker.
And the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this line comes from X-Files. I'm not sure if you guys remember X-Files.
Never heard of it.
It's a TV show.
Vaguely, yeah.
And it goes like this. Folks, the truth is out. Trust no one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pretty much sums it up.
Yep.
Is there any...
Birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real. I don't have and kids and remember kids. I don't know if we need one every episode.
And remember, kids, birds aren't real.
Yes.
Yep.
Just drones. Government's watching this.
They're just drones. Yeah, don't trust them. But chicken's okay. You can eat chicken.
Outro music goes
Yeah.
here. Follow us on the social medias.
Yeah. Yeah. Social, Instagram, TikTok. And there's another one.
Raised eyebrow.
Twitter. We have Twitter.
Click on stuff that has our name on it.
I don't know why we have to get so technical about what the ad symbol. Like, just you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, just look us up. Look us up. We're around.
Or not. Just make sure you listen to the podcast.